90s millennials do not remember a world without internet. Now, I did a video yesterday talking about the three different types of millennials: the Zennials, the older millennials, and then the 90s millennials. Me being a Zennial, I knew that the 90s millennials were going to be all in my comments the moment I said they don't remember a world without the internet. You were just like the rest of us, poor. But that doesn't mean you remember a world without the internet. You remember when you didn't have internet. But the world that we lived in had definitely changed in the 90s. Huge corporations in the early 90s were experimenting with email. Libraries, grocery stores, and even the United States Post Office was using the internet to help them fast stream. In the 1980s, if you mailed a letter, it took 5 to 6 days for that to arrive. But by 1992, it had dropped to 4 days, and by 95, it was down to 3. But you're not the only ones that weren't looking at the big picture. You had the older millennials that were saying things like, "I'm a Zennial also." If you were born after 1985, it is impossible for you to be a Zennial because it has simple rules. Rule number 1, you had to have gone to school in both the 80s and the 90s. And rule number 2, you originally had to be classified as Gen X. And trust me, there were plenty of Zennials in the comments saying things that didn't make sense also. There is zero reason for somebody born in 1982 to be claiming that they are pure Gen X. Sure, you're going to have a couple of things in common with them if you talk about He-Man and Thundercats. But the second that you start bringing up shows like Captain Planet or the Power Rangers, you're going to lose them. Gen X is a completely different breed of people. Because of Gen X, there are a bunch of laws on what parents have to do with their children. Showing millennials this picture, every one of us knows what that meant. That meant we needed to have our asses in the house. True Gen Xers do not share that experience. Their parents were so shitty that in the 80s, they had to make a commercial reminding them that they had children.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Yes, that's a real commercial. So by the late 80s, they had to start making laws telling you how long your children were allowed outside. Now, being a Zennial, the millennial side of me never has a problem discussing anything. But comments like this definitely brings out my Gen X side when I tell you, argue with a wall. You don't even know who Heathcliff is.
Heathcliff, no one should.